good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Natalie. Hey, Carla. Lady G, hello. Hello, my friend. Hey, Val. So, I am live on Facebook and we are live on Instagram. Hey, Raucous Papa Smooth. Hello, hello. So, we are live tonight. Tonight's topic is why people cheat. Why people cheat. We have Aval. Hey, check how you going. Why? Hi, Tab. Tonight's topic: why people cheat. So, backstory for this episode: I was trying to get a guy to come on the program, which proved a little difficult because I don't know, like men don't want to give out their secrets. So, what they know, I don't know if it have a guy code that they don't want to break or anything like that. But luckily for me, I have a gentleman on tonight who is going to be joining me shortly, and we are going to get into it, why people cheat. So I thought it would be good to have a male on so we'll get both perspectives on the topic, why people cheat, why people stay, what causes people to cheat. Is it your fault if your partner cheats? We're going to get into all that stuff tonight, and we're going to unpack it. While of course I try to do a hairstyle tonight, I hope that my hairstyle will get a good review. I think last week I did a little better. The week before I got a 3 out of 20. From my girlfriend Carla Phillip, I think last week it came up to about a 12. So I'm hoping tonight that I do a little better. I did plan ahead, so I did my pre-twist using my Just Curls styling gel and the hair oil for this particular style. Actually, it's a style I stole from Auntie Tabitha Brown, who's on Instagram, so I'm going to try to recreate it. So I am going to join my guest for tonight. You'll forgive me, bear with me. I am still new to this whole life thing. Let me see, how am I doing this? Right. So let me see if I could. It's saying add-in. Hopefully we will see him appear anytime soon. Hey, hi Andre, how are you? It's been a minute since I've seen you. So tonight we're talking why people cheat, why people stay. Is it your fault if your partner cheats on you? We are unpacking all of that tonight. I am trying to add my guest. I don't know what is happening. He's online, so I'm sending you an invitation. So when it comes up, you just click on the invitation. Um, Add. I don't know what's happening with this, trying to join this person to my life. I am trying to understand. I know you're online, so probably if you send me a request, I might be able to just add you. to the live? Because I really don't understand what is happening at this point. It keeps saying you're unable to join on Instagram, and I don't know what's happening on the Facebook end of things. It's saying connection failed, and I don't know why. So hopefully we will figure it out. Okay, I'm seeing a request from you. Let me see if I can add you here. Accept. Add. I saw your request on Facebook, so try and send me one on Instagram, and let me see if I could add you to the live. Oh Lord, help us tonight. Help us tonight to get this live going. I really want to have a male input on this topic. I don't want it to be one-sided. I don't want the males to be upset or feel that the ladies here to bash them or make them look bad. So I'm hoping that this happens. Oh my gosh. I don't understand why it's not happening. I just keep getting that the connection has failed. And I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. Hopefully we'll figure it out as we go along. I say I have some mails on Facebook, so if you could send an invite and I could add you and you're willing to get into it with me tonight, feel free to do so. But my guest, I'm not getting to add him to the live. So tonight we're talking why people cheat. And you could type in the comments, give your responses and that kind of thing. Tell me why you think people cheat. So over the years, my experience has been I will hear people saying that they um they they, they cheated for a number of reasons. Um, More often than not, it will be to fill a need that they feel their spouse wasn't fulfilling. So whether it is a emotional need, whether it is a financial need, whether it is a sexual need, um, you will hear people oftentimes saying men and women alike that, you know, they went out on their spouse because that particular need wasn't being met. And for me, which I don't want to negate the fact that people have needs and that we all desire certain things in our relationship and expect certain things from our spouses. But for me, and this is just my 2 cents, right? For me, I I I think there is something deeper in that. For me, when a person cheats, it's more of a deficiency in themselves. Um, yes, you might have challenges with your partner. Yes, your partner might not be providing every single thing that you need. However, I believe that with conversation, a conversation should be had one because most times people don't tell their partners what they're missing, what they're lacking, what they need, and they will just go ahead and cheat to fill that need. You understand? And to me, that doesn't make sense. So I think you should have a conversation first and foremost. And in having a conversation, if you and your spouse cannot come to some resolution, I believe the other option would be counseling. And when counseling has been exhausted, if you're still not at that place, or you still feel that, here's what, I think I gave it my all, I gave it my shot, I think this relationship is not for me, by all means, move on. And I'm not talking about here, I'm talking about more so the dating process. You're not married. I know marriage is quite a different dynamic and would require a lot more. But especially in the dating stages, I don't understand for the life of me why somebody would be dating. It's not like you have any real, say, commitments. You ought not to have any, bought any house together, any land, any car. um there's not a child involved in the dating process. Why, you know, why would you cheat? Why would you stay when you can have a simple conversation? And if you believe that your needs are not being met, that you move on. But I think sometimes it's something deeper that people really need to look at themselves and see the deficiency sometimes comes from from yourself. You might be deficient in expressing your emotions. You might be deficient in showing affection because of past hurts. And sometimes we tend to project that on our partner and say that they're not doing this or they're not doing that. And we use it as justification to say, well, this is the reason why I cheated. You know? Um, so I think that's one aspect that we should look at. My guest is still trying to join. I'm not getting him to join this live. But I think what I'm going to do, because we are in the same building, he's in another room, I'm going to get him to come here and we'll just have to share this screen because I really want that male perspective. So, 1 second. So, I am back. I just find this conversation requires a male perspective. And I don't just want to be talking from a female perspective. I want it to be balanced. All right. So my guest is going to come into the space and we will have a dialogue moving forward in terms of why people cheat, both on the male side and the female aspect of things. So let me give some of the female perspective because I have a lot of female friends and I know females, we always talk. There's the saloon talk, there's the girlfriends line talk. Um, so sometimes a female might say, I cheated on my boyfriend or spouse because he wasn't meeting my emotional needs. No, the guy might have been doing everything else, providing financially, um, helping out with the kids, doing everything else, but emotionally they felt something was lacking. Probably he was working too much. He didn't have time. He wasn't affectionate. He didn't show affection the way they wanted to. He wouldn't hold hands. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do that. He wasn't the romantic type. And they felt a loss emotionally, so they go looking for that. One of the other things that you would hear them say, financial needs. This person probably wasn't providing financially. They meet somebody else who could give them the lifestyle they wanted. They cheated. So stuff like that I would hear from females on a whole, right? Of some of the reasons why they would they would have cheated. Um, come in closer. Let the people. We had a share. We had a share tonight. So tonight my guest is Ruben. We are supposed to Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram.
So we wanted a male perspective. Why people cheat. So probably you could give me some of the reasons, because I mean you have male friends, you're male, obviously. Why men cheat.
Well, I was listening to the female part.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well,
Let's
the female part was real basic. Most of the times is emotional needs not being met, and a financial need not being met. So you could give the perspective from the male side.
I think I think definitely where men are concerned, the emotional side of things is definitely one of those
Let us speak
areas.
up.
Right, is one of those areas. Right, the emotional side, because sometimes you find that women take for granted that men do have emotional needs as well. So I think equally with men and women, you could have that sharing that aspect of a reason to that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Emotionally, it's certainly that exists among men. But um, you have a number of factors that could play with men too. For example, like just feeling neglected
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship, feeling not appreciated. Some of these things can prompt an individual, a male individual, to want to seek that kind of connection somewhere else, right? So those are simply just two things that you would have, you know.
Okay, so I hear you, right, in terms of what men experience, and obviously I stated what women would experience, what might be a cause, um, what would lead to cheating. Um, However, do you think because a need isn't being met that it is a valid point for somebody to cheat? To me, it says a lot about an individual,
Right,
about the person who is actually committing the act. To me,
right,
says a lot about them,
right.
and not so much the spouse. Yes, I understand that the needs are important, and it is something that is needed, but does it say a lot about the person who actually cheated, or the person that was cheated upon?
It depends. And why I say depends is because yes, at one instance you could say that this person did this, and like the normal cliche thing, men are dogs, right? So at one instance you could just brand everybody as a dog who goes out of their committed relationship. But at the other hand, there could be very valid. There's first to begin, there's no excuse, right? We do have an excuse for someone to cheat on their spouse. And in this case, as I think I was hearing you mention earlier, you're not talking about um, you're just going down the road kind of thing, right? You're talking about some either marriage,
Or relationship.
or a relationship that's a committed relationship, right? So of course you wouldn't have an excuse. There's no excuse, but there are definitely valid reasons. There are causes, I should say. There are valid causes, and a person may cheat and may not even want to. You understand what I'm saying? It's not an intent. It's an entirely different thing with someone who's going out with an intent to cheat, and that's their attitude. Those are the dog types.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the dog types. You need to get rid of dogs first to begin, right? But you're dealing with persons who would have genuinely fallen into a situation, if that's where the question is.
Yeah.
Then with those persons, I don't think it's really about a blame either, to be honest. As you were saying earlier on, if I'm not mistaken, you have to really be able to sit down and find out causes and reasons,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Okay. So now that we put on the table some of the reasons why people cheat, and it's basically most times is a emotional, physical, financial, sometimes spiritual need not being met by either parties. Right? Let's kind of backtrack to the term faithfulness,
Right.
because most people when they start a relationship they will say that they are faithful,
Right.
right? But for me, I realize faithfulness comes with conditions. So let me explain.
Right.
I think some people are faithful according to the need of you. So many times you hear women say, I meet this guy. When they met the guy, he didn't have anything much. He didn't have anything much going for him, whatever, whatever. And you hear women say, I will fix him up. Hey, good night, cuz I Jade. I will fix him up, I think I was there with him, I build with him, and when he started to see himself, so to speak, he started to prosper.
Right.
He started to cheat,
Right.
right? I literally hear a
No, it
lot
does it.
of
I
women
agree.
say that
Yes,
at time,
I
right?
have heard it as well. So it
Um,
exists.
to me, I have experienced where people are only faithful according to their need of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that word faithfulness doesn't really exist the way it's supposed to exist,
Right.
you know.
And why
So
you think that is the case?
I just think some people are just really selfish, and it's about their needs and what they want, and when they get what they want,
Y- y-
that's it basically.
All right, that's true. But where it came from, you don't think it's part of the culture that we have grown into because our grandparents didn't think like that.
I think our grandparents didn't think like that, one because the structure of the home was
Culture,
different,
culture
the
was
culture
different.
was different.
Right.
But in today's society, I don't know, I just find like the whole thing with men and their behavior, the pattern has shifted, so to speak.
Men and women.
Men and women. So you have women now who are breadwinners, who going out there working
Mm-hmm.
hard, earning more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have men who may not be earning as much.
Right.
And then you find now a lot of young men have, same way how some women have a desire to find a rich man, or as they like to say, a sugar daddy to take care of them.
Right.
And have a lot of younger men who looking for that. They telling themselves, I want an older woman who could take care of me. And they might come in under the guise of love, but
Right.
once they acquire what they acquire, so whether it's a male or female, they come
Mm-hmm.
and you start to spend money and you start to upgrade
Mm-hmm.
in the way they look, the places they go, give them a new taste. Most times you find they end up cheating, using your same
Those kind of
resources
persons.
to cheat,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then on the other hand, you have a lot of hurt people in society who come from damaged relationships, who have trust issues and this and that, don't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And then because they feel they're lacking something, whether it's emotionally, physically, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they go outside looking.
Right.
So they have that 80-20
Right.
kind of thing. So you have 80% home, but you go out looking for the 20% that you lack,
Mm-hmm.
which makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Um, but just even more touching on the second aspect of it, because yes, you have persons who, and that's like the dog types. I call it
Mm-hmm.
the dog types, right? The dog types are the persons, whether male or female,
Mm-hmm.
are the individuals who naturally has a there's a motive,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you're talking about the dog types of persons, at the end of the day, that's just who they are by nature,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think there's a discussion when it comes to those type of persons. I think what persons need to do in the very genesis of their relationship is to find out and make sure this is not the dog type. There are ways,
Yeah.
right? There are ways to know if this is the dog type or not,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think that's one of the things that persons need to do in their relationship quest, because um, the haste the haste to commit and you really don't know. A lot of times persons wait until
Mm-hmm.
something happens, and then they either too yoked to the person, too tied to the person, and it all becomes emotional and all that sort of stuff, but it's still the dog type,
Yeah.
right? But then now with the second aspect of what you were saying, with persons who would have, which is something I more would like to learn thought on, persons who would have gone through certain emotional damages and experiences from previous relationships or even growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and they never had that model,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of times persons get into a relationship and their only model is the TV,
Yeah.
or is the movies, or is
Mm-hmm.
the music.
Yeah.
You understand? So and then they get into a relationship with a false image of what relationship is supposed to be. So when realities come on and when it's, and it boils down to communication. So how that leads up to cheating, it all comes to you and the individual not being able to communicate and whatever might be a problem.
Okay.
You know?
All right, I hear you. So my next question is, right, when someone cheats in a relation, like if you're cheated on, more often than not, you would hear a person staying in the relationship. So the spouse or the boyfriend or whoever cheats,
Right.
girlfriend, whoever
Right.
cheats, and maybe cheating repeatedly. It may not be a one-off thing, a repeat offender,
Right.
and people stay. And then you will hear, but like, the person who was cheated on will say, but I love them. You think that is like really love or attachment?
There's attachment. And there's a biblical term for it. There's soul ties.
Okay.
Right? There's soul ties. And a lot of persons don't understand what soul ties really and how powerful a soul tie can actually be.
Yeah.
Right? Right? How powerful a soul tie can actually be. A lot of persons don't get that.
Yeah.
Right? But in instances like that, it is attachments. And attachments in the spiritual sense is a soul tie.
Okay.
Right?
But if, apart from the soul tie thing, you don't think it has like just the 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 ordinary attachments in terms of some people stay because
Because of
they
money.
have finances join,
Yeah,
or
money.
they dependent on the person.
Right.
Maybe they have kids.
Right.
Or you're just comfortable. It's like, I don't want to go out in the dating pool again, so I might as well stay. They have the saying, the devil that you know is better than the devil you
Yeah,
don't know,
you
or
know.
something like that. So I just trying to
Yeah, but
understand, like, what will cause somebody to stay in a relationship where the
it's
person is a repeat offender.
right.
We're not talking about one of, but a repeat offender
Right.
and cheating.
Yeah, but even if it's is cases like that, it's still a soul tie,
Okay.
because a relationship involves your soul investment. That part of the human being, the person.
Yeah.
So you might disguise it as say I'm here because I'm money, but you're still invested in your soul. So
Okay.
you still have a tie, and whether you disguise it as that or not, there's going to be that, because again, it's like we're asking, what we call somebody to stay in a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
right? And ultimately nothing is supposed to, right? Whether it be money or whatever the case might be, it's still a tie, and comes, is attached to your soul one way or the other, right? It's just madness. Yeah, if you want to break it down to that normal, it's madness. You understand? Why would somebody stay in a relationship, again, as you're asking, where there's a repeat of something that is toxic,
Alright.
right?
So, okay, so you're in a relationship, the person cheats,
Right.
and they come and they apologize, they give you a verbal apology, right? And they accept it. And then they come and they cheat again. They give you a verbal apology.
Right.
And sometimes, they will be like, but I apologize. So, like, if you bring it up again, but I already tell you I'm sorry. Is sorry enough without change behavior?
Yeah.
Because for me, if you do an act and you're really sorry, it involves a repentance, even from a big biblical context, repentance, and you're turning away from
From
said
this action,
behavior.
right?
So, should you tolerate someone who is a repeat offender because they keep apologizing verbally?
That's a technical question. I'll tell you
Really?
why. Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Outrightly, outrightly no, but technically, it all depends again on what caused the person to cheat, right? Yeah, because
What was
all
them?
right, yeah, no, because all right, again,
Help me.
it's like when we were going back to
Yeah.
the beginning of the discussion, right? All right, let me give an example. Let's say a guy is in a relationship, he loves this person, and he's committed. Let's say he's married. Let's paint that picture. He's
Yeah.
married, and he loves this person and everything like that. But somewhere throughout the marriage, um, certain things begin to happen. Neglect, abandonment. His spouse, in this case being the wife, is not paying the kind of attention and so on. Now, all these things are doors,
I understand.
right? Good. So if the relationship gets to that point and there is an inability to have communication
Uh-huh.
that allows the party that is affected at this point, nothing in cheat yet,
Yeah.
right? To be able to communicate with his spouse and say, hey, here what? Because I've experienced it, where you cannot sit down with certain women and have certain kinds of
Be
conversation.
careful, eh? 'Cause when men start to ball women and certain women, I just get a little touchy. I just get a little touchy. I just you know. But go ahead.
Right. You can't, you can't, no, it's a fact, it's the truth. And I'm sure there are a lot of guys, if there are guys who that probably may or may not have had that experience. But there are the instances, let's be real, on both sides of the fence as a matter of fact, right? Where you can't sit down with your spouse and really have conversations that would allow you to move from that place
But
of
is
being
that?
affected.
But
No,
is
no, no, no,
that?
we ain't got there yet. We get there yet.
Well,
Now you
let
do
me get there
have
quick. Let me
we
hear
do,
it.
right, we don't have the platform,
Yeah.
right? So we don't have the platform to communicate. Is always an excuse on her part. She's not hearing what you are saying.
Okay.
So well, that door opens even wider now.
Okay.
So now, okay, let's move the picture forward.
Yeah, you
So
cheat.
he's on work. No, no, he's on work, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's paying attention.
Okay, and he
Somebody's
cheats.
giving him right.
And
You
he
want, you
cheats.
want to
We,
get
wa- we
directly
want
to
to
the
get
cheat part.
directly to the
No,
part where
but
he
you see, the
cheats.
reasons are important
But yeah, but even though, what
because
I am
okay,
getting at,
right, you deal
even
with
he
it,
cheats,
right,
whatever the reason is,
right,
and he apologizes,
right.
and he decide, or
But
he or she apologizes. Let me
right,
go he or
he or
she.
she,
Cause a
right.
little ticklish when it comes
No,
to
no,
my
he or
ladies.
she, he or she.
He or she apologizes, and you forgive, and then they are a repeat offender.
Right, and that's why I brought up all of that. Why would he repeat? He would repeat based on the cause. If nothing is being fixed, right? Listen, you're not talking about somebody who wants to do that, and I think that's the
What do
idea.
you mean? Tell me
All
if you
right,
cheat, you want to do it.
no, no,
I
no,
don't
not
see.
everybody that falls into that
So
situation
when
actually wants
you
to.
fall on a lip, you fall. You was walking down the road,
No, no, no.
and you just
Let's be
fall.
real. No, no, no. Let's
I
be
don't
real.
know. Help me understand
Those
that.
classes of persons exist. There are individuals who would have ended up in a situation they genuinely love their spouse, but they end up in a situation and that is what happened. We're not dealing with the equal. The equal is okay. Yes, they did cheat,
I not
right?
seen the genuine love if you cheat
No, no, no. We're not.
too.
No, no. You can't say that.
But the genuine love is if you genuinely love me at no point when you was going,
No, you're not
when
talking
you
about
was
repeat here. You're talking about the first time you
even the
did it.
first time. I mean, yes, it have circumstances. Yes, things can happen. But
It happens on both sides,
yeah,
both
but
male
what
or
I'm
female.
saying, you're saying you love.
Right,
You love me.
right.
When you was putting on your clothes home, because when you're going to cheat is a process, right?
No,
No,
sometimes
sometimes,
it doesn't happen like that.
most time, but majority of the 90% of the times is a plan cheat.
Don't say that. There's no statistics. You
That
can't
is
say.
statistics based on the ladies I talk to, sisters. That is stats.
All right,
90% of the
all
time
right.
they plan to cheat.
Okay,
They
you see,
leave
you
home,
see, things are getting
they
bad.
leave home, they bathe, they put on the
No,
cologne,
right.
they was going and cheat. They put on the proper boxers that you went and buy.
You see, it's gonna get twisted.
Not no rattans boxers. The proper boxers you went and buy, they put
Right,
it on. The cologne you give them for their birthday or Valentine's, they spray it up.
right.
And they went and you ain't just fall on our lips and on our body. Most times you plan and they pay for a room. So
So you want to deal with the class of persons
most times
that
they
plan
cheat.
because I'm still not gonna
Because why
I'm not
saying
gonna sell the reality that is all
but when it
that's the only
was,
way that's
yeah, but you
happen.
can't say that you love me in this kind of way. And when it was going nothing in you and say, boy, oh girl, if my spouse find out or my partner find out, that gonna be real
Yes,
painful.
all that
It go
happens. But
hurt
what I'm
them.
saying, look, all that happens. But what I'm saying, my dear, is at the ending of the day, right, is that there are instances where you have to face the reality,
Okay.
where you are pushed into a position,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to be in that position, right? You don't accept being in that position. You end up in this position.
Mm-hmm.
It's called cheat, right? You end up in this position where you're unfaithful. Okay? Remember the original question was when you when if somebody comes and repeatedly says sorry,
Yeah.
and my take on it was okay at the ending of it I would say no, but then there's also the balance being that okay, if there is genuinely a reason, and when this case a reason mean okay, I push into a corner,
Mm-hmm.
right? All right, let's deal with the subject of abuse just to paint a brief picture.
Mm.
Let's say a guy is in a relationship and he's been abused, literally abused,
Yeah.
right? Whether it be verbally or whatever, he's been abused.
Yeah.
And he finds himself in a position where he's unfaithful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that situation never changes at home.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think he's going to be tomorrow?
Yeah, but why you don't let just leave though?
Ah,
That's my thing.
okay,
Why
so
does have
then
to
we go into
reach?
that solution.
Why it have to reach to cheating? Why you
Right.
can't just pick up your Georgie
And
bundle
that's it. That's what you could do.
and roll?
And that's what you should do. That's what you can do and that's what you should do.
Cause I don't know.
In any instance, both male or female.
I can't wrap the cheating around my mind in the sense of okay, I cheated before. I have cheated in the past,
Right.
and the first time that I cheated was revenge cheating. I
Right.
was cheated on.
Right.
It hurt,
Right.
and I sat down and I plotted in my mind I going to get back
Right.
at you,
Right.
and I plotted and I got back. The person didn't take it too well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they took it worse than I took the
The
horn I
initial,
get.
the initial, yeah, the
They
initial
took it
push.
worse, and to me, did something to me as a human being. It broke something
It does do
in me,
something to you. It does.
you know.
It does. It does
So
damage.
for me, moving forward, I would prefer to have a conversation.
Right.
Let you know this is how I feel.
Right.
See if we could work it out. If there could be some changes made.
Mm-hmm.
And if I realize that's not happening, I would leave.
You go.
I will exit.
You go.
You understand? Because the cheating thing,
You go. And that's the solution
I
really.
mean, nobody
On that
wins.
instant. Nobody wins. And it really boils down to again the person who would have had that act perpetrated on them to really decide in themselves if they want to give that person a second chance or not.
Yeah.
That's still an open door.
Yeah.
But initially, at the end of the day, you're not obligated.
Yeah.
Not even in a marital position.
Yeah,
You
because
know, you're not biblically, you're
look,
not
somebody
obligated.
saying here, no excuse for cheating. Full stop.
Yeah, that's what we would say.
My
I
girlfriend,
agree.
the topic again in
Right?
the feelings, again in the feelings, Carla don't get in the feelings. I get in
No,
my
no.
feelings slide too because when people, I mean, I wanted the male point of view, but you know, when a man justifying for men,
No, it's not
well, not
justified.
justifying, but
It's not
your
justified.
point of view.
It's not justified.
But
And that goes both male or female. You see, the thing about it is we're not, is it Carla that commented?
yeah,
Okay, Carl, we, we're not trying, I am not at
Mm,
least, right, trying to justify because it's
yeah,
not justifiable. All I'm saying, based on my experience,
it have
and
reasons.
professionally as well,
Mm,
that there are legitimate reasons. You could try to deny it or not, it
mm,
exists.
okay.
And if we don't face the fact that it exists, what you would have happening in a relationship is the whole cliche that all men are dogs and all women are,
Yeah,
right? And that as a societal mentality needs to change because we refuse looking at ourselves.
yeah,
We have to accept responsibility that there's some point in time in a relationship that I may have done something,
yeah.
right? And
I agree with
if you
that.
don't deal with that, then you will always have that cliche going around, women are and men are.
Okay.
And then we have no hope for relationships at all.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be real.
I capture you. I capture you.
Right? We have to be real. But I don't condone. There's no condonance. Don't
Yeah.
support it, right?
Mm,
I myself as a male individual, I have never cheated any previous relationships,
mm-hmm,
right? I find it to be disgusting. It can't even enter my thought, to be honest.
mm.
So I can't talk from that position of having done it. Nonetheless, I can talk from the position of having been close to,
Close. Okay.
right?
Because I know in the prior conversations before the live,
Yeah,
you would have,
I mentioned that,
yeah,
right? I
you
would
was on
have
the
been
brink.
close. We were, and that's the thing. You end up on the brink, and as you said, and which I totally agree, and which is what I advocate.
Mm,
When you end up on that brink, before you degrade yourself and also make yourself put yourself in a position
yeah,
that brands you,
yeah,
you might as well sit this person down and say, yeah, what, this is not working. I tried, we talking, you're unable to talk and go away.
yeah.
You understand him? You understand? I'm not telling them go away. You go away. Right? Make it that clear. Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay, so I capture you. So, um, just to rounds up, I guess we we kind of capture too, but still I know it's a sore topic for a lot of
No,
people
it would be.
because
The whole way of
it
express it,
really does
especially,
not
right?
it does not feel good
Yeah,
when you are the person being
yeah,
cheated on. It's a very painful thing,
yeah.
and then some people are held prisoner to the situation because they feel they can't leave because of children
Mm-hmm.
or because of their financial structure, because
Mm-hmm.
we have these joint things. We kind of feeding off each other in terms of paying expenses and that kind of thing, so you feel like there's nowhere to go
Right.
and you have to stick it out. um, but I think conversations are needed. You need to sit down,
Mm-hmm.
talk it out. Especially in terms of marriage, you may go a little deeper because it is a marriage.
Right.
You
Exactly.
go to counseling. I mean, the dating process to me is a little bit different because to me you should have that leeway to, if that happens and you do not feel secure and safe, for you
Mm-hmm.
to leave, to exit.
Yeah, immediately.
But in a marriage it might be different because there are different moving parts,
Exactly.
and it is important to just have that wholeness within yourself
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't be the perpetrator of that act. Be whole within yourself, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially.
Mm-hmm.
Be whole within yourself so that even if you go into a relation where someone cheats on you, you don't feel the need to retaliate by doing same. You are whole
Right.
enough to understand that the problem does not lie within you, and you will have the ability to walk away
Mm-hmm.
and to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight on Hair Talks. Hey, let me show you my hairstyle. I finished. Carla Phillip, look. I try to follow Auntie Tabitha Brown. Yes, Avril is saying, I agree on conversation because without it, the void will never be filled within the union. Yeah, and sometimes it's not just about getting up and bouncing. Sometimes you need to
No,
let people
that's the thing.
know.
That's the
You
thing.
need to let people know where they have gone wrong, what mistakes they have made,
That's the thing.
because you might leave and they might even understand what happened.
That's it. And
Um,
nobody corrects
yeah,
everything, and
you
that's the
give
way I say it.
people a room to grow.
Yeah. Facts.
Um, so it was nice hanging out with you guys tonight on another episode of Here Talks. I really enjoy coming on here and just chatting with you all. The videos are going to stay up on the platform, so whatever you miss, you could go back and look at it. I want to say thank you to Ruben for coming on and helping me out with
Most
this
welcome.
topic. A lot of the men shine away. I don't know why they're frightened. They don't want to talk. Oh gosh, I'll
Most
ease,
welcome.
ease up on yourself now, and share. Carla, the hairstyle trying, girl, you just cut Jesus slippers, girl. You ain't giving me a moment to shine at all, girl. Like, stop it now. Right? So, next week, Wednesday, we will be discussing. What was my topic for next week, Wednesday? I'm trying to remember. Oh, we will be discussing sex before marriage. Sex before marriage. That is the topic next week. That topic should be, you understand? And especially for those of us who are mothers, who have children, who might be single, men too, who would have already had children and single. People tend to say, like, what are you waiting for? You already did this thing. People sometimes laugh and find it very amusing that somebody who is at a particular age and already have children want to keep themselves. So we're going to talk about the things next week. Sex before marriage, in terms of the carnal aspect and the spiritual aspect of it. So I'm going to be doing some homework, and I believe I'm going to bring Ruben back on because I need that male perspective in terms of what goes through the male's mind when it comes to that topic. I could only give my view from a female standpoint. So I'm going to be live next Wednesday at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss this one, Sex Before Marriage. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. And remember, Jessica's products, it's in the background. We have our original line, which caters up to all your needs: steaming, gel, hair oil, moisturizers, vinegar rinse. We have it all. And our Just Curls Cocoa line. So we are back at it. From February the 1st, we are on full 100. You can put in your requests. We're going to be doing delivery. So, yeah, so have a good night, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. I've relaxed me if I finish or if I stop in with the hairstyle. This is the hairstyle only like, only real hard to please though. Only just doing the most, and I am doing the best that I could. So if it have anybody here who could comb here, I want to come on the set and comb my hair while I talking to make me look good, fine. Right? So have a good night, guys. Bye.